Shalom, Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Shai, Bashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, doing the work of truth, sincerity. This, I guess I'm going to entitle it The Two Duplicitous Jakes, to be nice. You know, I'm not gonna be too mean. I'm just gonna explain away the BS that they talking on this. And of course, I'm backing off what Apostle Tahar, or what the Apostle Tahar's video was saying. So I went a little further in the video, skipping around because I wasn't finna watch all this bullshit that they was saying. Excuse my French, And, they finally did get around to going into the scriptures. And they went to, they first went to the ones we know, to pass, to lay hold, seize, arrest, catch, wield skillfully, which we use that to say, yeah, that they forced her, excuse me. They forced her, laid with her, and I'm going to get this scripture. It's Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 28, getting right to the point. And if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. Let's see. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. So, all his days. So basically, let's see, they went for humble to be gentle or whatever the hell, because humble basically just means to be brought low. So I'm going to get that, to put down, become low, to be depressed, downcast, to be afflicted, stoop. They went to a couple of scriptures. Let's see, I would just let them play, but they go on rants and shit. So, it makes it quite long. So, they use those scriptures, a damsel to be betrothed and all that other stuff. And basically, when I listen to it, they basically being disingenuous about it, Now, the reason I say that is because, let's see, let me go back. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them go ahead and explain it, and then I'm going to come back and break it down. That'll be the easiest way to do it.
First place I want to start off is just the point. Deuteronomy 22, does that sound good?
That's what everything you see on screen.
All right. So we'll read the first scripture that they go to, right? The scripture that they go to justify this sickness that they have, because that's what these brothers are. They're sick. And what we should be doing, I know we're making the video, but ultimately we need to pray for these brothers, because they have...
And you can keep your prayers.
...been overcome with some type of strong satanic force. It might be Satan himself, or Legion, or one of the stronger archdemons that has come with brothers to believe.
Says the men that are preaching and prophesying with their head covered.
What it is that they believe. But this is Deuteronomy 22 and 28. And it says, if a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. And they go to the Hebrew word in verse 28, which is tapas, right? Which is lay hold. I believe it's the Hebrew word there. Let me make sure. Tapas. And they see, sometimes in the Bible it's translated seize, catch, grasp. And what's important to understand, and we're going to revisit it as we go through Deuteronomy 28, there are specific words that the people who inscribed this wrote down to communicate something very specific here, especially with the subject that's this touchy, right? Now, does the word to pass mean, does it always mean to seize, to catch, or to arrest, like it says in the third definition? Well, let's take a look at Genesis 4 and 21, the first time the words ever used. And his brother's name was Jabal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. Now, are you rough with a harp or an organ when you're handling it, or are you in control of it? That doesn't mean that you're forcing this harp or forcing this woman in this case. How we know this is look at the second word that's used in verse 29 when it says, "She shall be his wife because he hath humbled her." This
Okay, I'm gonna pause it here. Now, first we're using the word tapas. You know, I'm gonna get to the humbled part in a minute. First we use tapas. And of course they go to Genesis and they mention it the first time the word was used. And they said the meaning is not always, you know, what it says, and they went to Genesis. So let's deal with that. Excuse me. Now, here it says, let's see. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin which is not betrothed, and he lay hold on her. There it is. Tapas, right? And what did they do? They went to Genesis. They didn't show you, which I'm going to show you the whole thing. They went to Genesis, you know, and his brother was Jabal. He was the father of all, such as handled the harp and the organ. But one of the meanings says, you know, what? To wield skillfully. You know, to catch, handle, lay hold, take hold, seize, wield. That's the forceful ones. To lay hold, to seize, arrest, catch. Forceful. To grasp in order to wield, use skillfully. Use skillfully. So what? The Jabal, he was the father of all, such as handle the harp, or use skillfully the harp and the organ. But then when you look at other definitions, she was caught. She caught him by his garment, and this is talking about the woman that was the wife to the man that hired Joseph when he was dug out of the ditch. You know, if you know the story, the brothers, the Joseph brothers basically threw him in the ditch after he had the dream that he was going to be over them. And then he got caught. He was basically went into servitude under this guy. I forget his name. And his wife wanted to lay with Joseph. So what did she do? She caught him by his dark garment, saying, "Lie with me." And he left the garment in her hand and fled and got away and got him out. He left. She wasn't strong enough to keep him there, but she tried to. He left that garment and bounced. But she still held that garment, didn't she? Because it says he left the garment and fled. So that's forcefully. You know, but they didn't say this, though. Numbers 5 and 13, and a man lie with her carnally and be hid from the eyes of her husband, and he be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither shall she be taken. Taken what? Arrested. Taken forcefully. So this is the stuff. This is why I called them duplicitous or disingenuous, man. Cause they read, they're gonna read the Genesis one to you, but they ain't gonna read the other 2 or 3 or 4 or so or 5 or 6 that would basically prove the point that Tapas is talking about, to will forcefully as well. And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my hands and break them before your eyes. Force. But the only one they read on this one is Genesis 4 and 21. To handle a harp or organ, wield skillfully. But they're not gonna read the ones that use force. So, just like the apostles were saying back then, to catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, seize, wield. So, they didn't want to go through all of that. So I went through that. So yeah, and then of course to humble is to bring low. So, that's why I call these men disingenuous or deceitful. Disingenuous at best, deceitful at worst. So let's go on to what they say next.
Right here proves. And what's funny is they believe that that proves that it is grape, but it actually is the complete and utter opposite.
It's not.
When it says he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. When you look at the Hebrew word for humble, it's the word ainah. And I believe in the video digging, he said ainah means to force, right?
Yep.
2 Samuel 22 and 36. Thou hast also
He didn't say Ainah means to force. Tapas means to force.
given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness hath made me great. The Hebrew word for gentleness right there is ainah. Gentleness is the exact opposite of grape.
Thy gentleness, thy humbleness, thy lowliness. Lowliness. To depress. Again, why do I call them disingenuous or deceitful? It's because they know this. They're going through the same, Hebrew that we going through. When you look at the word humble, because he hath humbled her. Look at the word humble. Ainah. To be occupied, be bruised with, to inflict, to oppress. Humble. Be afflicted, be bowed down. To be put down, become low. To be depressed, be downcasted, to be afflicted. So when they use these in this same tapas and ainah, to grab and to make low or bruise, hey, it's talking about grape. That's what it's talking about, man. To humble, to mishandle, afflict. But then they say in that verse, thy gentleness, and ainah was there. So what is humble being there for? To be put down, become low. There's more than one meaning. There are several meanings that the word gives you. So in that, when he's talking about gentleness, to be put down, become low. So to stoop, to bow down, to humble oneself. So they being bowed down. They became low. So yes, they will be gentle. So could it mean force? Yeah. Why? Because it says to be occupied, to be bruised with, to afflict, to oppress. That's something forceful. And of course, while we going through these words, they fail to mention Judges 21 and 21. And see and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in the dances, then come ye out of the vineyards and catch every man his wife, the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. Now, mind you, tapas is not here. The word here, to seize, let's see, come out, dance, come here, to catch is, what is it? Haptah, to catch, to seize. It's basically just to catch, to seize, to take, catch every man his wife, just straight up to catch and to seize. That's it. Not to wield skillfully, just go and take them. But the point is, hey, it was without these women permission. That's the point. And of course, when the fathers come to complain, it's like, be favorable for our sakes. Because it goes into how Benjamin was little Benjamin now. Their numbers were small, like something like 400. So they and the ones that went to war with them made a promise that they wouldn't give them their wives. But the ones that didn't go to war, hey, you got to catch your wives, man. And this is what happened. Basically furthering the point to the grape thing. And hey, it ain't like they don't know. They disingenuous. They're being deceitful. And with all of their talking, how they're talking to the people, they basically just trying to stir up people's emotions because they emotional. That's what these emotional jakes do, man. They rile up other people's emotions. Hey, and the Bible ain't about your feelings, man. The Heavenly Father put down these laws, and this is what it is. This is just what it is. And if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. And they getting out of the kitchen. I mean, they already claim that they don't believe in Paul's writings, so they can wear the hat. So let's go further. Let's see, because they do go into Paul's writings. So let's go further and see.
Number 2, in Deuteronomy 22, there's already a word that is used for grape. Matter of fact, before I even get there, let's go to verse 20.
Oh, and in this, they're going to go to entice and all this other stuff. Hey, you can watch it if you want to. Let's go to their next point, though. Yep. Yeah, that's when they go into that. Let's see. Oh, this right here. Yep. Now let's deal with this part. All right.
1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she's past the flower of her age. Now, some of them said that, Tahar is Paul, so maybe this is Tahar speaking here.
And remember, they claim that they don't believe in Paul's teachings.
So, let's take a look at this word flower.
While you're doing that, Deacon, upon second notice, I think it's not only is it not saying a young girl, but it's saying past the flower of her age. And what we're about to go to is prime. So it's saying she's old, she's outside of her prime going towards being older, not younger. You see what I'm saying?
Look at this, beyond the bloom.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, beyond the bloom or beyond the prime of life. Damn. Look at this, overripe, plump, and ripe. How could you look at 11 and 12-year-old and say, oh, they're overripe, plump, and ripe?
So let's get that. That's to catch. All right. So we're in 1 Corinthians 7 and 37. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go to 36. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she is past the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Now, why would he have to say he sinneth not? Because, hey, just like these clowns are doing, because this is clown world that we in, he said they sinneth not because when a woman, a young girl, a child, as they would put it, is past their flower, they're young. Simple as that. They're young. And of course, he used the terms that it used, beyond the bloom of or prime of life, overripe, plump and ripe, uh, and so in greater danger of defilement of a virgin. You know, because she's a virgin, she's young, she's plump and ripe, she's ready. Overripe, plump and ripe just means ready. Ready for what? Ready for motherhood, so to speak. So that's basically what it means. And furthermore, they explained it here. 1 Corinthians 7:36 to 7:38. The flower of her age is when she first begins to menstruate. And this usually occurs around the age of 12 or 13. Basically, around the age of 12 or 13 is when a girl goes on her period, so you understand. That's that age. 12 or 13. That's why it says, and so in greater danger of defilement of a virgin, because they are virgin. They're supposed to be virgins at that age anyway. So when they have their flower, then guess what? That means they had their menstruation. They ready for marriage. Yes, they're overripe. They're plump and ripe. Whether you want to understand it, believe it or not. Yeah, that's what that means. Like I said, don't get emotional about it. This is what it is. To further prove that point, when you go to Leviticus 15 and 24, if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed wherein he lieth shall be unclean. So it'll be unclean. And let's see, when it says flowers, her flowers, what does that mean? Nida or nidal. Impurity, filthiness, ministration, set apart. Impurity of ceremony, impurity of ministration. And most of the time is of ministration. So basically when she on her period, that's what it means. And a girl usually has her period, around the age of 12 or 13, 12 and a half usually. So that's what it means. It don't mean 20. It don't mean 25. 12 or 13. That's what that means. Now, like I say, they don't believe in Paul's writing, so they probably wouldn't go no further than that. That's why they couldn't get it. Because if they believed what Paul was saying, then they would have read on. It's like, okay, now let me read on. Let me read all these scriptures to give understanding, because they don't have no understanding. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry. Why? Because she's 12 or 13 years old. And if he can't hold himself, he ain't sin. So they can marry. And we know in the truth that, sex is marriage. Verse 37, nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but hath power over his own will. He got power over himself. He can wait. And he hath so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, doeth well. So then, he that giveth her in marriage doeth well, but he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. That's it. In other words, he that waiteth, he that don't wait, he sinneth not. So he doing okay. But he that does wait is even doing better. because he gonna wait till she gets a little older. But the one that don't wait, he ain't sinning either. Now, you know, that basically is the situation, like the situation with Joseph. Mary was a young woman, and Joseph slept with her before they came in that ceremony. They were already betrothed. Before they came to the ceremony, Joseph slept with her. And she was young. He didn't wait. So guess what? He still did well. But if you can hold yourself, you have power over your own will, and you can hold yourself, he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. You waited a while. So you did even better. Because most men can't wait. So that happens. But that don't mean they sinned. You know, if Clown World didn't exist, they would have understood that. But they don't understand that. Because remember, they come from a group that said that they don't believe in Paul. And when they split from that group, they basically said the doctrine didn't change. So they don't believe in Paul's writings, just like the doctrine said. Because if they did, they would have read a little bit more. And it gave them some understanding. But since they're emotional, they don't got that understanding. You know? So, hey, these clowns are disingenuous at best and deceitful at worst, man. So, hey, you can do with that what you will. They were very, you know, in my humble opinion, they were very deceitful in this video when they start to bring out the scriptures. And of course, they riled Jake up with emotions, man. I mean, but if you want to follow these, gentlemen, hey, do what you do. When the apostles of Great Millstone say they give you the truth and the 100% truth, hey, that's who I learned from. That's how I teach. I might not be the best teacher, but hey, you're gonna get the full teaching at least. If I teach you something, it's gonna be the full teaching, just like I learned from the apostles, the elders before me. You know, and that's why a lot of Jakes and these other groups can't come to the full truth because they don't want the whole thing, and these guys are just very emotional. And I'm going to leave it there. Like I say, hey, I just went through basically the parts where they brought out the scriptures. And like I say, it got long, so I just abbreviated it. But hey, if you want to watch the whole 1 hour and 42-minute video, hey, be my guest. They rant a whole lot. They bring out the scriptures for a few minutes, and then they go on another rant, you know. With that, I'm going to end it there. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Crocodiles, double honors to the Apostle of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, I can do in the work of true sincerity. Till the next time, Shalom.